Dear students, history is an interesting subject. When you approach history with curiosity, it will be more interesting. Today, I am going to take the topic, the French Revolution. Before going to start, what is a revolution? A revolution refers to a movement often violent to overthrow an old regime and effect complete change in the fundamental institutions of society. What are the different revolutions in the world? American Revolution, French Revolution, Russian Revolution, Chinese Revolution. Dear students, we can divide the causes of French Revolution into 5 sections: social cause, economic cause, political cause, immediate cause, and intellectual cause. What was the social cause of the French Revolution? The French society was divided into 3 estates: the first estate, the second estate, and the third estate. The first estate consists of clergies, the second estate consists of nobles, and the third estate members were the common people such as artisans, agricultural laborers, peasants, etc. The first and second estate enjoyed certain privileges by birth. The third estate members alone paid taxes to the government. The church too collected taxes from the third estate, known as tithes, and indirect taxes levied from the third estate. Dear students, 90% of total population were peasants, but they owned little land. Most of the land owned by the churches, the members of the third estate, they suffered a lot under the monarchical form of government in France. This was the social cause of the French Revolution. What was the economic cause? When Louis XVI was ascended the throne of France, he was married an Austrian princess, Marie Antoinette. Upon his accession, the king found an empty treasury. Long years of war drained the financial resources of France, and France held 13 American colonies to free from their common enemy, Britain. To run an extravagant court at Versailles, to maintain a good army, the king had spent a lot of money. This increased the debt of France as 2 billion livres. Therefore, the king decided to increase the taxes. But there was a problem. The king decided to collect taxes from the third estate. The first and second estate, they enjoyed certain privileges by birth. Normally, the third estate members protested. What was the political cause of the French Revolution? Louis XVI, he was an autocrat ruler. He took decisions his own without consulting the National Assembly. His wife, Marie Antoinette, made the autocracy unpopular. Dear students, what was the intellectual cause of the French Revolution? The 18th century witnessed the emergence of social groups termed as middle class, who earned their wealth through an expanding overseas trade and from manufacture of goods such as woolen and silk textiles. They earned their wealth through an expanding overseas trade and from manufacture of goods such as woolen and silk textiles that were either exported or brought by the richer members of the society. All of these were educated elite and believed that no group in society should be privileged by birth. Rather, a person's social position must depend upon his merit. These ideas envisaging a society based on freedom and equal laws and opportunities for all. These ideas put forward by French philosophers such as Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Montesquieu, and John Locke. John Locke refuted the doctrine of divine and absolute power of the monarch. Rousseau proposed a form of government based on a social contract between people and their representatives. In spirit of laws, Montesquieu proposed a division of power within the government between the legislative, the executive, and the judiciary. These ideas, inspired by the people of France, they were ready to protest against the monarch. At the same time, the population of France increased. The price of food rose in the market. Long queues were made in front of the bakery. The agitated women attacked the bakery and looted the food items. A subsistence crisis faced by the people of France. The condition of France became very worse. At the same time, the king decided to call the meetings of a state general. A state general was a political body in which all the three estates sent their representatives. The first and second estate sent 300 members each. The third estate alone sent 600 members. The king decided to call the meetings of estate general to propose new taxes, especially from the third estate. But now the third estate members were well-educated people, such as professors, teachers, lawyers, and administrative officials. A resplendent hall Versailles prepared to host the delegates. The first and second estate members, they were seated in front of the hall face to face each other, while the members of the third estate stand at the back. Women, peasants, artisans were denied entry into the assembly. Dear students, the main demand of the king was to increase the taxes to meet the demands of France. Therefore, the king decided to conduct the voting system as earlier, like each estate would have one vote. But the members of the third estate, they demanded that each member would have one vote. The king rejected this. The members of the third estate, they went out of the assembly hall in protest. The members of the third estate, they assembled in the hall of tennis courts, where they drafted a new constitution for France and reduced the power of monarch. Now France became a constitutional monarchy. Dear students, earlier the power rested with one hand, that was the monarch Louis XVI. Now his power was checked by the legislature, executive, and judiciary, but the king had the veto power. In 1791, France became a constitutional monarchy. All the privileges by birth was taken away. Church and nobles' lands were confiscated. While the National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting a constitution, the rest of France seemed turmoil. A severe winter had meant a bad harvest. The price of bread rose. Often bakers exploited the situation and hoarded the supplies. After spending hours in long queues at bakery, crowds of angry women stormed into the shop. At the same time, the king ordered troops to move into Paris. On 14 July, the agitated crowd stormed and destroyed the Bastille. This was the beginning of the French Revolution. Finally, Louis XVI accorded to recognition to the National Assembly and accepted the principle that his powers would from now checked by constitution. The National Assembly drafted the constitution in 1791. Its main object was to limit the powers of the monarch. Dear students, in 1791 constitution reduced the power of the monarch and France became a constitutional monarchy. The people of France, were divided into two, the active citizen and passive citizen. The Constitution of France began with the declaration rights of men and citizens, right to vote, right to equality, right to freedom of speech and expression became natural and inalienable rights. The people of France, especially from the third estate members and women, were greatly disappointed because they were considered as passive citizens. The main advantages of 1791 Constitution, the privileges enjoyed by the first and second estate was taken away. At the same time, church land was confiscated. The people of France, especially the active citizen, elected the electorate. This electorate elected the National Assembly. National Assembly controlled the ministries, but the king had the veto power. 1791 Constitution of France. The powers, instead of being concentrated in the hands of one person, now separated and assigned to different institutions such as the legislature, the executive and judiciary. The National Assembly, which was indirectly elected, that citizens voted for a group of citizens who in turn choose the assembly. Not all citizens, however, had the right to vote. Next topic, the political symbols of France. The broken chain. We are used to fetter slaves. A broken chain stands for the act of becoming free. The bundle of rods or flaxes. One rod can be easily broken, but not an entire bundle. Strength lies in unity. The eye within a triangle radiating light. The all-seeing eye stands for knowledge. The rays of the sun will drive the clouds of ignorance. Snake biting its tail to form a ring. Symbol of eternity. A ring has neither beginning nor end. Sceptre, symbol of royal power. Red Parisian cap, cap worn by a slave upon becoming free. Blue, white, red, national colors of France. The winged women, personification of the law. The law tablet. The law says that all are equal before the law. Let me wind up today's portion. We will discuss the causes of the French Revolution: political, economical, social, intellectual, and immediate cause. What was the immediate cause of the French Revolution? The king called the meetings of a State General. The first and second estate sent 300 members each, whereas the third estate sent 600 members. The king decided to conduct the voting system as assembly as a whole. Each estate would have one vote. The members of the third estate, they went out of the assembly hall in protest, and they assembled in the hall of tennis court where they drafted a new constitution for France. This was the immediate cause of the French Revolution. The fall of Bastille was the beginning of the French Revolution. Dear students, all these questions help you understand more about French Revolution. What were the causes of the French Revolution? Highlight any 5 features of the French Constitution of 1791. Reduce the power of the monarch. France became a constitutional monarchy. The people of France were divided into two, active citizen and passive citizen. The 18th century France witnessed the emergence of the middle class. Justify the statement. When the National Assembly was busy at Versailles drafting a constitution, the rest of France seethed with turmoil. Explain. Map work, very important. This map work help you understand the location of the main revolt or the main revolution in France. Locate and label the areas of agrarian revolt in the early 1789 in France. Regions not affected by the Great Fear. Epicenters of main panic movements in France. Today we discussed up to France became a constitutional monarchy. Next class we will discuss transition of a constitutional monarchy into a republic. France became a republic. Thank you.